Speaker B.J. Cruz is accusing Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson of giving an employee an illegal bonus. The Speaker wrote a letter in which he even accuses the Attorney General of misleading him about the bonus during a budget hearing. Here's more. In a letter to the AG, Speaker B.J. Cruz writes that Elizabeth Barrett Anderson found a way to circumvent Guam law by issuing an opinion on the law that allowed her to give illegal bonuses to an employee. Speaker Cruz writes that her choice to do so, quote, is a failure unworthy of the office you now hold, end quote. In the letter, the Speaker also blasts the AG for misleading him by withholding relevant information during a July 6th budget hearing in which he asked specific questions regarding these bonuses. At issue are two public laws, one that allows agencies to hire accountants and then use their CPA certification as a basis for a bonus, and another law that prohibits the stacking of multiple incentive pay credits based on multiple certifications. Cruz spoke on K57 with Phil Leon Guerrero this morning.
I understood it to be that she has not implemented the law at all for her office, but actually she was very careful about the way that she stated it, that to avoid it being perjurious, I mean, it was like Sessions. I did not speak to any Russians. I did not speak to any Russians on behalf of the campaign, and I didn't speak to any Russians because and to undermine the United States. I mean, you're just really parsing words and just avoiding the question.
In the letter, the Speaker says he believed that Barrett Anderson's tenure as Attorney General would be, quote, marked by a dispassionate defense of the law, end quote, adding that, quote, I now know that I was wrong. To borrow an old refrain, perhaps you are so busy trying to keep your job, you've forgotten to do your job, end quote. The Speaker then brought up some issues from the past. For example, he wrote about the AG's failure to select a special prosecutor within the statute of limitations to investigate the illegal issuance of retro pay to Adelup employees in 2014. He also wrote about the raiding of the Child Support Enforcement Fund, saying that the AG, quote, stayed conveniently silent, only acknowledging this conduct when questioned by the legislature, end quote.
I've always been opposed to the elected Attorney General position. But the people that have run for the position have felt that it was supposed to be independent of the governor. She has shown in the last 3 years that she is just part of the governor's office.
The Speaker writes that he fully expects the AG to defend herself vigorously, something he characterizes as, quote, what politics demands, adding, quote, but you are supposed to be more than a politician. You are supposed to be an instrument of justice, a person who chooses to protect both the spirit and the letter of the law rather than exploiting it for the benefit of those around them, end quote. Meanwhile, the Attorney General responded to Speaker B.J. Cruz's letter, stating in a letter of her own, quote, there was certainly no intent to engage in any false representation to the committee during our budget oversight. It was a personnel matter that had been under review since March of this year between the Department of Administration and our office, end quote. You can read her full response online at thepacificnewscenter.com.